Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of World Talks here on TVP World. I'm your host, Benjamin Lee, and please join me and my guests on this next interview. Now, the EU South Africa Summit marked a major step in strengthening relations, with the EU announcing a €4.7 billion investment package for energy, healthcare, and infrastructure. Meanwhile, Poland has been expanding its humanitarian efforts across Africa, supporting hospitals, education, and aid initiatives. One person deeply involved in these efforts is Maciej Syka, a humanitarian and educator who has worked in Zambia, documented African communities, and collaborated with Polish medical professionals. Now, joining us today on TVP World to discuss Poland's humanitarian role in Africa and the broader EU-African cooperation, Maciej Syka. Hello.
Hello. Thank you for having me here today.
So let's start by kicking this off, discussing where's the current interest when it comes to European countries within Africa? How is Europe helping Africa, and where's the interest?
I would say like European doctors, European volunteers, and missionaries, especially from France and Poland, they support Africa. My experience is connected to Zambia and Madagascar, when we helped to run a hospital. This is the only hospital in Katondwe region on the border with Congo and Mozambique. And there's like, you will not find another hospital in 250 kilometers away. This is one and the only one. And it was launched in 1963 by Polish missionaries. And people die there. People die there. They are very poor, and they die there. They suffer from malaria. They suffer from cholera. And Polish nuns, little servant sisters of Immaculate Conceptions, they run this hospital there. So we support this hospital. We send medicine equipment, we send food, we send clothes. And before Christmas last year, we organized a special volunteer trip, and it was worth of that, because you could see hope in people's eyes. So this is Zambia and Madagascar, also together with Polish Foundation for Africa from Krakow, with great Kasia Urban. We also help Madagascar. There is a Polish this is like a really interesting story. Madagascar is supposed to be a Polish colony. Right. However, it did not happen. But there is a Polish hospital there, and Kasia Urban, together with Polish Foundation for Africa, they support Polish fathers, Polish missionaries working there and supplying education and healthcare to the poorest of the poorest. So this is how we do it, and I'm proud of that, because so many people are being involved, and I'm very thankful to all our friends like Ola Sowa, like Krzysztof Pruszyński. They all supported our mission and our children. Can you imagine 500 orphans in an orphanage? And when American President George W. Bush came many years ago to Polish orphanage in Lusaka in Zambia, he had planned there to stay there for like 15 minutes. All right. But it took him like 1 hour and a half, and he was so amazed. He found hope, love among orphans, and he said to Polish sisters, this is a place of hope. So some politicians visit Polish hospitals. They visit regularly Polish orphans, and they say orphanages, and they say, wow, these places are like heaven on earth. So.
Based on your experience in Zambia, when it comes to expanding access to education, what do you find is the biggest challenge?
The biggest challenge is that this is a very good question. Thank you for this question. The biggest challenge is that many young people at their ages, like at 6, 7, 8 years old, being 10 years old, they have to work. So only 10 to 15% of Zambian young children attend schools. The same situation is Madagascar. Between 10 and 15% young students attend schools, because the rest, they have to work. They have to work with the cattle, They have to work on the fields. They have to work in the streets of big agglomerations. So education is the only chance for better tomorrow. So we, as a teacher, as an English teacher, I find my mission very worthwhile because I can go there, I can teach English, and don't forget, Zambia used to be a British colony. Right. So they speak very good English there. In Madagascar, Madagascar used to be a French colony. So English is very precious there because they don't want to speak French. So they speak kind of Mangalski, language Mangalski. So many of them want to learn English because they know that the modern world nowadays speak English. So education is a huge chance. It's a chance for better living.
Right. And speaking of Madagascar, we do know that you have documentaries featuring Madagascar. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Yes,
thank you very much. Yeah, this May, this year, we gonna premiere. There will be a premiere of our newest documentary called Truly Far Away. Truly Far Away. Okay. It's an amazing story based on a true story about a boy, 12 years old, Leolid, who suffered a lot. His village burned. He lost everything, his house, his parents. He lost hope. And he started an amazing journey, 75 kilometers by foot to the nearest hospital in Madagascar. It took him more than 2 weeks to walk this distance. In the meantime, he was kidnapped to the diamond factory. He suffered a lot. He was imprisoned. Can you imagine? 12 years old boy was imprisoned and he was kidnapped. So this boy suffered a lot, but he made it happen. He made this journey, nearly 3 weeks journey for better living, and he received his goal, and he got to the hospital, to the Polish missionary fathers, where they opened the gate for him, and he was warmly welcomed, and there he started new life. He got education there. He got 1 meal there a day because there are like 3,000 children in this Polish hospital, in this Polish orphanage. And Leolid found his own place in this Polish orphanage and found hope. Now he's 21, and we already invited him to Poland, so he's coming to Poland. It was very difficult. Honestly, it was very difficult to get a passport for him. Right. So we had to, Kasia Urban together with Polish Foundation for Africa, they had to write special petitions to Nairobi, to the nearest embassy. But he got the passport finally, and we are expecting him this May for the premiere of our newest film. So guys, you are more than welcome. There will be screenings all over Poland, and we'll be traveling together with this brave young man. He's 21 years old. And his example for young people here in Poland is that you can do something. If you believe strongly in something, you can do. And hope never dies. Hope never dies. So he's a great example that he managed. He managed and he struggled a lot, and he got education. Now he works in a laboratory in Madagascar, in Antananarivo, in the capital of Madagascar. He's 21 years old, he's well educated, and he's doing his first trip to Europe. Right. Isn't it beautiful?
Last but not least, we have a very little time, but I want to get to this because, like you mentioned, education, access to education, and the economic situation is relatively dire in Africa. What can the European Union nations do to help them out with the situation?
I think that so many good things, great things are happening, and what I found are young people from Germany, from European countries who work in Africa. So far I visited Uganda, Kenya, but like Zambia became like my number one. And I found like people in their 30s, in their 40s, doctors, teachers, volunteers who go there. We have great education here in Europe. And this is what we can give them. We can go and share. We can go and we can be role models for them. We can be role models for them. So I'm happy seeing people from European countries serving and working among African communities. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. Because, as I said, we received as European people a lot. Great education, and we graduated from many beautiful, great universities all over Europe. And it's very valuable when people go to Africa and spend there like 6 months, 12 months working. It's not a big deal. I mean, it's not a big money. They go there because they want to give something to the communities. And they receive a lot. They receive gratitude. They receive love. This is not the matter of money.
Right.
This is something very valuable.
Thank you so much for bringing this story from all the way across the world to us. Really appreciate it. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me here.
And thank you for tuning into this edition of World Talks. But for more news, update, and commentary, please stay tuned to TVP World.